The Ravens Flock presents The Black Files, an uncensored interview and review podcast for all geek fandom.
What in the world happened? I had the microphone, or rather I had the camera going. What the heck?
Strange.
Hang on. There we go. What the heck happened to the camera? There we go. We're live. If there isn't one technical issue, there's another. Welcome, everybody, friends and pals, guys and gals, boys and girls around the world. Pop a squat. Pop open a cold one with all of your boys, with all of your friends. Well, we are live. You are tuning in to the uncensored, uncompromising interview and review podcast, The Ravens Flock. Welcome to this brand new episode of The Black Files.
Hello, everyone.
Yes, indeed. Thank
Holy
you very
crap.
much for tuning in. It is Wednesday, December 14th. We are 11 days away from Christmas. Unfortunately, the gift that we're going to be bringing you tonight is not going to be so jolly. Now, is it?
Indeed.
Sorry, folks.
Businesses are no longer for giving. They are here for taking.
What are we taking? Wait, what?
Your souls, your attention, your time, and your money.
Well,
We're not taking any money from people.
No, but we are taking away their happiness with what we're going to talk about.
They don't need to know that I'm taking their money.
Wow.
All right, Juan. Go
Welcome,
ahead, Juan.
everybody. I'm Juan Arauz, one of the hosts of the Black Files, one of the heads of the Ravens Flock, and you could tell I am so freaking haggard over all this mess. But thankfully, it's not over the story. It's that I'm recovering from a bout of my own chronic conditions. I'm the tech guru of the team. Clearly, according to the camera not wanting to turn on and all this other crap that we dealt with, there's never a dull moment when it comes to dealing with the Ravens Flock, when it comes to dealing with our tech. And as you can see, I'm joined by my brothers in arms, the usual suspects. Let's first say hello to a guy we haven't seen on the Black Files in 500,000 years. Host of Los Amigos Play, the man with a million opinions and zero apologies. Everybody give a big round of applause to Mr. Angel Mendez.
Hello, everyone. Thank you kindly for your time, your patience, and your money, which I am taking right now from your bank as we speak.
Let him, Juan.
Ich liebe
It
capitalism.
is a joy.
He's been, Angel's been very money-minded ever since we played Monopoly on Nintendo Switch last weekend.
Oh, you mean the game where I beat it by $3?
Yes,
Alas, I fear that my wallet requires more cash, and it has become a yawning black hole that demands naught but brutal tribute. This economy, am I right, fellas?
Good grief.
But yes, thank you for joining me. I am happy to be once again present in an episode of Los Amigos Play. And to celebrate my return, I am enjoying a delicious bottle of triple cola granted by the folks at Rocket Fizz.
Really?
Hey, nice. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Found one near my place. I consider myself quite lucky right now.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Very
you
good,
are
very
lucky.
good.
That is nuts. I haven't heard of a Rocket Fizz in forever and a day. And before I forget, let's go ahead and also give another round of applause to the founder of the channel, executive producer, content manager, the host of our flagship program, and host of our wrestling recap show, Wrestle Rewind. Give it up for the man with the plan, the man behind it all, Mr. Jose Casabona!
Hello, everybody. And Juancho, you forgot the master of disaster, the king of sting, the count of Monte Fisto. You know where I'm going with this.
No,
This
I
man
don't.
will just
Are
keep
you
stacking promos on top of himself until he becomes the entire WWE lineup in one person.
Are you stealing other people's monikers? What the hell is that?
It's called Rocky, goddammit. It's called Apollo Creed. How the fuck do you not
How
know?
are you going to try to rip off Apollo Creed? Apollo
Listen.
Creed did not die in the Cold War for you to be ripping off his mantras. How dare you?
Listen, the entertainment industry stole your belt designs. We gotta take something back from those fuckers.
Oh no, Angel, one of these days you're going to catch me in Vegas and I'm going to be doing that same show at Rocky IV where he's dancing with all the girls. Living in America.
And then Dolph Lundgren punches you to death? Is that the fate you want for yourself? You silly bald hobo. Oh, my lord.
I can think of worse ways to go than being beaten to death by Ruben Landon.
No, Dolph Lundgren. Ruben Langdon is Dante's voice actor.
I know, that's what I said. That's exactly what I meant.
What?
Well, we were talking about... Okay, whatever, man.
Oh, my God. Jose, you know what you need to do.
Juan, I would consider it an honor to be knocked out by He-Man.
Yeah.
Okay,
Props.
we're really referencing the live-action He-Man movie with Frank Langella as Skeletor?
Yes.
Okay, whatever. Jose, do the house cleaning, please.
Of course, absolutely, folks. And much like all our other shows on this channel, we are simulcasting on youtube.com/theravensflock and twitch.tv/theravensflock Hit the subscribe or the follow button on the bottom right corner of your screen. Hit the notification bell to stay up to date on all of our media content. Leave your questions and comments down below, and we will answer them during the duration that we're live. And if you wish to go above and beyond to support the Ravens Flock, then you can become an inner flocker. For $4.99 a month, you will have exclusive access to all of the amazing perks that comes with our membership service. Juan, tell them.
Well, thank you for that, Jose. If we've got any inner flockers in the chat, why don't you folks do us a favor and go ahead and hit us up with those beautiful custom emojis. And I also want to say hello to the folks we have on the chat. We have Nikki Bella, Planet Q's Queen. Holy crap, Planet Q's Queen is not going to be happy over here. She just said it. Get ready for me to be pissed, Ravens Flock.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, she's not the way you think here, Angel. Also, we got Brandon Torres and Shelly Fitzgerald and Jen Pearson in the chat. Hello, and Project Metal Music, folks. Welcome to the Black Files, one and all. And
thank you kindly for joining us once again.
We appreciate every single one of you guys. And we appreciate every one of you guys coming over here to show us some love, show us some support. And we hope that you join us on this ride, because this is not going to be fun. It's going to be arduous. It's going to be a pain. But it is going to be extremely vital that we try to take a look at this as painstaking as we can. Not that we're going to be running long for 9 hours. Heaven knows I don't have the energy anymore, but I'm here.
No, thank you.
I'm here.
No, thank you. I don't think people are ready to hear my snoring.
No, they're not ready to hear you snore, Jose. I can't stand hearing you snore, and I have heard you snore all your life. It's horrible. You'd think I'd have drowned it out by now, but I can't. Now, if you can tell by now, we're gonna go ahead. If you guys saw the thumbnail, we're going to be asking this question tonight. Is Nick Carter guilty?
I think before we get to the subject, I think it's important that people know that it's not that...
Hold on. Nerd Report. My favorite. Louis Lecca, the legendary man of the Legend of Los Angeles.
Louis Lecca, how you doing, man? I hope
who
you're
nukes
doing well,
the fridge.
from COVID.
Oh, damn. Thank you for showing.
Yeah.
Unexpected yet welcome surprise.
It's a Nerd Report raid. Holy shit. Holy crap, man. I cannot believe this. Louis, thank you for showing
so
up.
much.
But yes, let's send our positive thoughts to Louis Lecca right now. He's in the middle of recovering from COVID, from what I've been following from his Twitter. So we do wish him the best.
Holy crap. That's going to be nuts. Also, Jules is in the chat. Hello, Jules. Welcome. And Mystic Gaming. It's officially a Nerd Report raid. Holy crap.
Perfect.
Yo.
Well, I'll be there. Thank you kindly for gracing us with your presence.
Oh, Lord. Also, Lisa Boo. Yeah. My God. Yeah, Mr. Gaming, I just liked and subscribed. And Yarg Oldaman and Jem's Journey. It's so many people. Everyone showing up. Nerd Report. Show us up. Show them with... it's official. We got a whole raid going on. Holy shit. Oh, my God.
Awesome.
I don't know if I could say hi to everybody all at once. Aaron Cooper, Jem's Journey, Cheryl E., Lisa Boo, Mickey Jamieson, as you guys are popping in. Please excuse me, guys. Rhinomal, Heather, whatever. I want to say hello to everyone by name, as is my custom, but we're not used to being rated on the Black Files. Grammy Anju.
Let's do it generally. Let's say welcome all raiders from Nerd Report.
All the raiders of the nuked fridge of Nerd Report.
There you go.
There you go.
Raiders of the Lost Kitchen Appliance.
No, just reminded me of this this meme I found. Yes, Angel, the talk switch tick can bring good memes. It's that shot of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull where Indiana Jones jumps into the fridge before he's nuked. The caption reading, the cast and crew of the movie Oppenheimer when Christopher Nolan says he's not using CGI for the nuclear blast. Everyone jumping into a fridge like, oh shit. Oh shit.
I don't think Christopher Nolan really be like, when I say practical effects, I mean they'll practically kill you.
They'll
for real, though.
Right?
Yeah, that's the one thing.
Said, getting into the subject, Juancho, before we get into it, I think it's important that the viewers know that not long ago, we did discuss, I know we're about to discuss Nick Carter. We did discuss Aaron Carter not too long ago.
Yes, we did. Last month when Nick Carter's younger brother, Aaron Carter, passed away. It was live on an episode of the Ravens Flock. I went ahead and said it over here, and I put it out there. Everyone loves your accent, Angel. Everyone loves Jose's baldness. Everyone loves my hair. I don't know.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, Jules, Nick Carter's in a little bit of trouble. Maybe a smidge. Maybe. No, it's gargantuan. It's a pain in the butt. Marcella. Hi, Marcella. Okay. I have made perfectly clear in the past, like the same week when Aaron Carter passed away, that I had a personal issue with Aaron Carter when we were children, nearly 20 years ago. He was an asshole with me. I was literally just trying to be friendly, and he was an asshole to me. I held that on him ever since. Never spoke with him, but I swore, like, if I ever met the guy again in person again, I hope I don't do anything crazy because I don't know what I'll do. Then he passed, and yeah, on the one hand, like, am I the asshole for holding a near 20-year grudge? And we're like, yeah, on the one hand, Juan, you shouldn't be cruel to someone who passed, especially under the circumstances he did, because it is shameful. On the other hand, it's understandable if, like, 12-year-old you and 12-year-old Aaron Carter were little assholes to each other. Kids are cruel, and as
Kids
Angel would like
cruel,
to say, he's...
Jack.
Go ahead, Angel. You were about to say it.
And I'm very much in touch with my inner child.
Yeah, Angel is very much in touch with his inner child. Good Lord in heaven, help us. Now, that being said, this really doesn't have much to do with Aaron. This has more to do with Nick, the older brother, the heartthrob of the Backstreet Boys, the guy who stood out as being the hunkiest, the dreamiest of the bunch, while everyone else had their own niche. 90s boy bands, pop boy bands.
He was the sexy one, basically.
No, he was the youngest one and therefore the sexiest one.
Of course,
like
of course.
Like it was a thing. It was a freaking it's. I didn't understand it then. I understand it now. But that doesn't necessarily mean I put my stamp on it. All right.
That's because you're straight.
More because, like, okay, I get it, but I don't get it.
Yeah, no, it's because
I don't think it has
straight.
anything to do with straightness.
No, it makes perfect sense. All you have to do is replace him with an equally popular female star or musician, and then it'll make more sense. It was simping before it was called simping, basically.
Yeah, it was called being a crazy fan or being a super fan. Like,
exactly, just like that.
Much less pejorative than simping, even though really simping, the term itself, should not be used in a pejorative manner, but I digress.
It was around. We just managed to give it a different name now because of the prevalence of the internet and social media and all that jazz.
Right, exactly. Now, I do also have to put up, once again, an obligatory disclaimer. We here at the Ravens Flock are going to be discussing issues involving potential accusations of sexual assault. We're going to be making discussions about people with physical and mental disabilities. We're going to be discussing an issue that is extremely sensitive and, for those who may have had personal experiences with this, potentially triggering.
We're going to be talking about some dark shit, man.
Yeah, it's dark. This episode is dark. And since I have to put up the obligatory disclaimer, I'm letting y'all know our opinions are our own. We will state the facts as they are presented in the news articles. We will give our interpretation of those facts. We will give our opinions. That doesn't necessarily negate anyone else's opinion. You can have yours, I can have mine, but your First Amendment freedoms end where mine begin. That's the limit. That's where you walk up. Respect each other. Don't be assholes to each other in the chat. If I got anyone else in the mod squad, I saw Shelly and I saw Nikki. Help me out. If anyone wants to be an asshole or wants to be ableist or wants to look down on people who have had negative sexual assault experiences, put them on mute. If they keep doing, time them out. If they keep it up, boot them. All right? Because I got no room for that bullshit.
We are here to be respectful, but please take into account we will be discussing some extremely sensitive topics. If they bother you, feel free to tone out right now. No offense to you, but we're not going to stop for nobody. We can't.
No, we literally can't. Also, no,
Exactly.
shit, Daisy. Daisy
Hello.
Vegas Pisces. Hi there, Daisy. Remember meeting her in Vegas. She was awesome. All right, so enough lollygagging around, enough of the dancing around. We've danced around. It's been 20 minutes. We got our gags in. We got our stuff in. Let's get to the story. Let's get to the actual bit. Well, it's not a bit. Let's get to the actual case here. Last week, 6 days ago, in if I'm not mistaken, this was filed in Clark County, Nevada. A 39-year-old woman by the name of Shannon Ruth, who also goes by the nickname Shay, had called for a press conference under the auspices of the law firm of Cordelia McMahon and Allard, or is it Allard? Allard. I think
it's Allard.
Allard, yeah. And she is stating that they are filing a civil lawsuit against Nick Carter, and stating that 21 years ago, when she was underage, Shannon Ruth, like I said, she goes by the nickname Shay. So if you hear Shannon and Shay, they're the same person. Okay, is stating that when she was 17, she was underage. She also happens to be autistic and lives with cerebral palsy.
Damn.
And she is saying that she was sexually abused by Nick Carter. Then this happened. That this happened 21 years ago. That this was a extremely traumatic experience for her, and that she wants to try to bring this forward. She wants to try to bring this story forward to the light, and she wants Nick Carter to be held accountable for what was done to her. All right. So, now, so I'm double checking here, and yes, Planet Q's Queen sent me information too. She sent it to the Ravens Flock on Twitter. I do appreciate that, Shannon. Now, I'm double checking the information here so folks can actually follow along. I'm going ahead and I'm putting up the article courtesy of Vulture, and I know, Vulture, isn't that a term for someone that's something that's predatory?
No, it's a carrion bird, aka picking at the remnants.
There you go. So
doesn't exactly put most haste, though. This does bring up the question. Credibly, this is an extremely fucking serious accusation, especially done after 20 years. Obviously, considering the fact that the history of the usual boy band and its members tends to be filled with troubles and complications, it would be easy to simply assume that we must believe the victim. But for the sake of fairness and the law, we must look at everything with a somewhat skeptical eye. So far, this person has brought forth an incredibly heavy accusation. Now, Juancho, do we have any evidence whatsoever that there is truth to this accusation?
That's where this stuff goes real south real fast, and that's the problem here. Now, the article itself that I shared from Vulture specifically refers to how the Backstreet Boys holiday special that was going to air on ABC was canceled once this accusation was put forward. And
Holy shit.
Yeah. This was put out on the 9th. So this was put out, when is it? Last Friday? Yeah, so...
Yeah. last Friday.
Yeah, so like less than a day later. ABC has canceled its heavily publicized Backstreet Boys holiday special after a woman accused singer Nick Carter. God dang it, Nick Carter. See, I think Carter. My brain immediately goes to Aaron. That's of
Aaron Yeager.
It's all right, Juancho. It's okay.
Wrong, Aaron Angel. I appreciate you trying to keep it light. I really do. I'm like, God dang it. So but I know you're trying. Let's see here. When Nick Carter of raping her some two decades ago when she was 17 years old. A very Backstreet holiday was scheduled to run tonight, actually, December 14th, but is not listed on the holiday lineup webpage. Variety confirmed the cancellation. The accuser, Shannon Shea Ruth, filed a lawsuit against Carter in Clark County, Nevada court before ABC pulled the show. She and her attorney provided details on the alleged 2001 incident during a press conference in Los Angeles, where she claimed that Carter, 42, forced her into oral and vaginal sex. Ruth's and her attorney's statements at the press conference mirror her allegations in the civil suit. Now, Ruth's allegations against Carter come about 1 month after the death of his younger brother, Aaron. You see what I mean? Folks are putting these stuff together. Let's see. The 34-year-old singer's death renewed attention on a bitter family feud that had touched on multiple women's allegations against Carter in 2019.
Oh, multiple women's allegations.
Yeah.
Now we're getting to a problem.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Now, in 2019, Nick Carter filed a restraining order against Aaron Carter. After doing so, Aaron publicly sided with singer Melissa Schumann, who in 2017 accused Nick of rape. Here is what we know about the latest allegations against Nick Carter. If you guys wanted to go ahead and read the article on your own time, I went ahead and put the link up. Now, I'm letting you guys know right now, for years, I had been in contact with Melissa Schumann, and her singing teammate Ashley Sheridan, from the girl group Dream. They were in the group together, and after 2004, 2005 ish, the band broke up. Everyone went their separate ways. The girls all stayed friends, and Melissa had been keeping her story and her accusation against Nick Carter to herself, trying to live with that stuff and try to move past it. Now, according to Plan Accused Queen, and according to many other deniers, many other folks who are trying to stand in favor of Nick Carter, they're saying that Melissa Schumann has been getting into other people's ears, trying to get other folks to also falsely accuse Nick. I can say this right now, that is a leap. It's on the one hand, it's while folks want to say that Melissa's somehow like a mastermind on this, or that she's like responsible for it, I doubt that she has actually got that kind of energy in her in order to do it. And the reason why is this. Think of this logically. Angel, think of this logically for me. Mm-hmm. You had a traumatic experience. And this traumatic experience involved one of the most popular members of one of the most successful, most lucrative musical acts in the history of the world.
Yep.
Now, you go ahead and tell me, how plausible is it for anyone to believe you if you say, hey, this famous person did shit to me?
Right now, specifically during the time that happened 20 years ago, extremely unlikely. People have to understand that boy bands at the time were, quite frankly, untouchable. If you try to say anything wrong against them, not only do you face massive public backlash, including the kind of sick people that would tell you that you should consider yourself lucky for receiving such attentions. There is the fact that the company, specifically the record label, who is not exactly known for playing clean, would very likely bury your entire family in litigations and lawsuits until you relented. In fact, I would not be surprised if this already happened more than once. You are telling me that there has been several accusations against this individual. Am I correct?
I'm afraid so. Now, everyone, as far as this
I have to side with Angel on this one. Yeah, no, it was definitely a different period back then when boy bands and when pop bands were all the rave,
they
like in the
ruled the
late
world,
'90s and
basically.
in the late '90s and early 2000s.
It's crazy. It really is, and just think, like, place yourself in the position of that, of the potential victim. Try not to say like, oh, this is my favorite singer. They can do no wrong. I believe them 100% no matter what. Try to remove yourself from that if possible. And I'm asking this of the audience. I know Planet Q's Queen. I know you're a big fan. You're a big supporter of Backstreet Boys. I'm going to ask. I would ask this of anyone. I would ask this of anybody. Place yourself in both people's positions. If it was you, how horrified would you be if you tried to come forward and no one would believe you? Try to put yourself in that position. It's not easy. Yeah. Also, I see, for the record, that's Linda. Hi there, Linda. Welcome. She's like Melissa from Dream. Yeah.
Hello.
Hey there. And let me see. Snap. Daisy was saying, "OMG, this is the first time I'm praying to get this to God. This is not true. I love the Backstreet Boys so much. They were the only ones in my eyes that seem to be real men that do right. We want to believe in people. We want to believe that folks won't do anything wrong. We also have to accept realities that we're not gods. We're not infallible. We're all human beings. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone does things wrong. And everyone has stuff that we would rather not come to light, especially when it's someone who's super famous, who has gone to meteoric rises. They have just that much more to lose. So it would be in their best interest not to let that stuff happen. However,
you would think that they would try to keep their hands clean, especially considering the majority of people that end up in this circumstance are usually attractive enough that they don't need to coerce someone into sex. Shit, at the point of the highest popularity of Backstreet Boys, they could walk down the street, ask a random woman to have sex with them, and 90% of the time they would say yes.
Exactly. Yeah. No. That's actually exactly it. You don't have to. You wouldn't have to force yourself on anyone. But the question would be, why would that happen in this case? Was she trying to say no initially? Was there another circumstance where she wasn't exactly a willing participant? Was there a situation perhaps where there was initially consent, but then it was withdrawn either during or in the middle or right before the act? That's the stuff that we don't know. That's the stuff that has to be asked. And with this being a civil lawsuit, I know you hate this, Angel. We can't go and it sounds a little clickbaity that I used the phrase, is Nick Carter guilty in the thumbnail. It's clickbaity. I'm sorry. I had to. The almighty algorithm doesn't like when we're vague.
I don't think it's clickbaity. I think it's a genuinely important question.
Yeah.
This is a matter of opinion that we're jumping on here, but it is a good question to ask because, as you said, there could be circumstances that could make that this might not be a legit lawsuit based on the information. It has been 20 years. Lots of details can get muddled in 1 year. The part that worries me is the fact that this individual has been the legit recipient of several accusations. That's the part that scares the shit out of me. Exactly. Because obviously, yes, a person being famous and being a heartthrob are pretty much attracting controversy. I dare say that there has not been a single star in the world that hasn't had some loony fan trying to go after them and declare some idiotic idea.
Literally, there was a dude who tried to assassinate Ronald Reagan because he thought that it would make Jodie Foster fall in love with him.
Yeah, we got to that level of insane. So, insanity is not exactly an unknown here. No. The part that worries me is the fact that, the part that makes it likely is the fact that this happened so many times with this one individual. Has any other controversy surrounded any of the other former members of the band like this before?
In this instance, I'm actually double checking here. Well, as far as what we have, according to the same article from Vulture, the other members of the Backstreet Boys, Howie Dura, AJ McLean, Brian Littrell and Kevin Richardson have not released statements regarding the allegations against Carter or their show being canceled. The group is currently traveling for their DNA World Tour and have appearances for the Jingle Ball throughout the end of the month. So everybody else in the Backstreet Boys are keeping their lips zipped.
Smart thinking when you think about it. The worst thing you want to do is put your foot in there and put yourself in danger. Also, as you mentioned, the alleged victim is suffering from what appears to be a mental issue. You mentioned cerebral palsy?
Cerebral palsy, that's correct.
Cerebral palsy.
And
that is, well, first off, I'm very sorry to hear
autistic.
that.
Now,
and she's also autistic. That does put a complicated aspect on it, because that means that she's, quite frankly, not quite out there. She's not, I don't know, can we consider a person in that state mentally sound? And were these issues prevalent during the time where the alleged crime occurred?
That's just it. Those are issues that folks are born with that they have to live with their whole lives. Look at it this way, though, Angel. For any sort of dismissal offhand, just on the grounds of the accuser of Shay, unfortunately, having to live with autism and living with cerebral palsy, simply saying that they're making this up, they're loony, they've got these brain issues, they've got this problem, they shouldn't be believed, throw the whole thing out, in Nick we trust. Isn't that shit ableist as fuck, though? Oh no, that would be ridiculous. Immediately declaring the other guy innocent just because the other person might not have all their mental faculties would be a flagrant violation of their rights. I'm not saying that. No, exactly. That's something that folks have to be explicitly careful in, because no one wants to fall into that problem, myself included. I'm not going to dismiss Shay in any way, shape, or form. The problem here is, like I said, this is a civil suit, which means we can't go on guilty or not guilty, which means it has to be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. We have to go by the preponderance of evidence. That basically means, that's the part that worries me. Yeah, it requires absolute evidence. Actually, the slightest error or mistake could ruin this whole thing, wouldn't it? Actually, Angel, that's the thing. With a civil suit, it doesn't have to be absolute. It has to be which side, in this case, can prove their arguments are more likely before the jury. This is the same stuff that was happening during the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial. The bigger difference between that, what was going on with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, was Amber had a goddamn recording of her saying, go ahead and go to a courtroom, go to a judge and say that I, Johnny Depp, a man, am a victim of domestic abuse, and see if anyone believes you. There was like open and shut. She screwed herself over here beyond belief there. It's extremely unlikely that anyone could rule against that with so much clear-cut evidence. Obviously. On the other hand, the problem that we're dealing with right now with Shay's case against Nick Carter is we don't have a sound recording. We don't have a videotape. We don't have a photograph. We have her testimony, and then we have Nick Carter's testimony. And each side is going to have to provide as much testimony and as much proof on their end in order to see what is more likely. Now, that's where everything goes completely belly up, and that is a serious problem, because on the one hand, if by circumstance showing that Nick Carter's side was able to collect more evidence, or they were able to collect more testimonies showing beyond any sort of doubt, like, oh no, Nick Carter was over here and I could testify about it on the day. Here's a photo of me with him. We're taking a sip off a cola or whatever the hell. That's that. He was nowhere near this. Then that's going to be that. And if Shay was on her own in this concert, or if she was with friends, if they were also present and if they could testify that as well, but on the other hand, if they can't provide a similar photo saying like, oh hey, Shay ran off this way and this is her heading towards the same bus as Nick Carter was in where this happened, if they can't produce that, the one side has the photo, the other side does not, and folks are going to side with whoever can produce something more tangible, and it's going to be fucked up, because as troubling as that is, that photo could have been just as easily produced from some other time. It could also be falsified or doctored, and there's no way in hell they're going to spend the time investigating that matter. It would also end up being a massive miscarriage of justice in that case. On the other hand, if it's showing here that if by some circumstance, if we were to assume that Shay's testimony is fabricated in some way, shape, or form, if her attorney and if she's able to produce more evidence and her evidence is more credible, then that would recommend who didn't do anything. We have to take these into account. The trouble on this is Shay has been trying for years to get people to listen to her. From what I'm finding, but even before the claim of Melissa got to her, Melissa Schumann got to Shay, I doubt that. I seriously doubt that because Melissa has a lot more to lose these days, and so does Shay in these sort of situations than Nick Carter would. Yeah, Nick Carter's a big famous dude. He's a big famous man, and he's he's a Backstreet Boy. He's musical royalty for the rest of his life. And
he is, for lack of a better word, no pun intended, larger than life.
Oof.
Ow. Let's try not to.
Yes.
I know that was too easy. That was too easy, but let's try not to go on the.
It's kind of depressing when you think about it. The fact that we had to wait until his brother freaking killed himself before we could actually bring enough attention to the circumstance.
Here's the thing. Aaron, before Aaron passed away, he was also coming forward and saying, yeah, no, my brother Nick, he's a piece of crap. He did all the things that these girls were accusing him of.
Damn.
And I can, it's kind of messed up. It's kind of messed up that he says this stuff and then he passed away. But then again, Aaron has also had issues with drug abuse. He's also had his own mental health issues. Not necessarily the most reliable narrator there.
Before we go any further, Juancho, before we go any further, Shelly Fitzgerald dropped a $10 super sticker.
Oh, goodness.
Laughing Corgi.
Laughing Corgi, yes, thank you for that. I'm guessing it's because of my horrible, horrible pun.
We sincerely appreciate it. See, bringing humor into these incredibly dark and depressing subjects literally creates money. I think I'm starting to understand why Rick and Morty became so famous.
What I tell you, Juan, funny equals money.
That being said, if I may pivot into the serious problem for a moment, I believe that, and this might be sounding a little too optimistic for my own good, but I do believe that in fact will be what turns the pile on this complication. See, we know that Nick Carter is rich and famous, but he hasn't been as rich and famous as he used to be for a long time. His connections are not as prevalent. Meanwhile, the alleged victim has spent the last 20 years vigorously working on her case. There is no denying that she has been waiting for quite some time to do this, and now she finally has a chance to bring the moment into light. I don't believe that she would decide to bring out the incredibly difficult to prove and comprehend civil case if she wasn't at least in possession of some evidence or something that would allow her to turn the tide and prove that he is guilty. As you said yourself, and I do apologize for relying on this point so many times, the fact that no one seems to be willing to take his side beginning on this matter already speaks a lot about him. His own brother, unreliable as his testimony may have been, outright dedicated the last moments of his life to calling him a piece of shit. There has been countless other suits accusing this guy, and the fact that they canceled the special immediately and the other Backstreet Boys are unwilling to say anything at all. Well, I'm not going to say that the testimony is damning for his audience, but I'm going to believe that I think things are going to swing in the port of her, not because I have any solid evidence to believe it, but because everything is pointing to the fact that she seems to know what she's doing. I mean, if I had to wait 2 goddamn decades to have a chance to bring something like this to justice, I would prepare my case with as much evidence and testimony as I can get. I like to think that in spite of the fact that her opposition has more money and definitely more influence, she will not go into this kind of thing unprepared, because this might be, assuming, once again, like I said, grain of salt, assuming that this is correct and he is guilty, likely as it may seem, I would believe that she would actually come into this prepared. Obviously, we can't all be like Amber Heard and shoot our foot off immediately. Let's be honest, the Johnny Depp trial was less of a trial, and it was more of the accused proving themselves guilty over and over. But seeing as we just got the news of the accusation itself, the trial has not started yet, correct? Nobody has brought in any statements or
Right.
anything?
There isn't a court date
Correct.
set for it right
Right.
now.
So-
Also, real quick, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
Jean
go
Rick
ahead.
dropped a 199 super chat. Thank you for that,
Thank
Jean
you.
Rick. She said, "Indeed, it does, Jose. You know, humor helps. Some of the dark humor helps the bitter news go down." And Rebecca Zucks dropped 20 Aussie bucks in here on a
damn.
$20 super sticker. The dancing exercise peach. You are amazing. Thank you.
Thank
so
you
much.
so much.
Holy crap! No, guys, we appreciate your support. I promise, I'm really trying not to focus on anything monetary, but we do appreciate y'all's support.
I am a greedy little shit.
Angel, he's a greedy little shit.
But
I
don't
do
worry,
wanna
Juan.
mention
Keep going.
something
I'm monitoring the chat. I'm making sure that things are copacetic. Go on.
I did want to bring some stuff up in the chat. Nikki Miller mentioned being on the spectrum, recalling enough details from 20 years ago is a tough battle in court. It would only take disproving a few details to lose that case. And Stereophonic's mom also says, "My son has Asperger's, and you wouldn't believe his memory." It's crazy. Tati Says So is saying this case will go nowhere. It's just to cancel him. If folks wanted to cancel him, it would have been done forever ago. But
It would have.
Let me see here. I saw something else over here. Daisy was saying, "I don't know. Aaron's death seems fishy, though. I think there's something behind it, and they covered it with drugs since he was already a drug addict. He was silenced after the exposure. He was doing this in his live."
Oh, damn. That is quite a hypothesis.
Do we really? Oh, shit.
I mean,
I didn't want to think of it that way.
We know what famous people are willing to do to maintain their privacy and their sovereignty.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's true. I'm saying it's not unlikely. After all, there clearly was no love lost between the siblings, as you can see.
Planet Q Screen said that a week before he passed away, that that Aaron Carter recanted, saying that that he was lying earlier. So I'm like, a week before he passed. Okay, I am not. That was not where I was trying to go with all this. No. Oh my lord.
Holy
no. Oh my
shit.
god.
Extremely.
Okay.
Now,
also,
mind you, we're
D-Nice?
spitballing here. It is likely that
Are you all right,
it is possible that we are wrong. But unfortunately, it is very likely that we are also right. I hate the fact that we could be right.
So do I. I don't want to go into that rabbit hole, but oh my god, that's horrifying. That's crazy. D-Nice, I saw that you were saying that you weren't feeling okay. I mentioned being in a dark place earlier. What happened at Mount Sacramento? I was friends with one of the people who passed and was Facebook friends with the one who did it.
Damn.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm sorry, D-Nice. It looks like Daisy's trying to reach out to you. Definitely reach out. Please talk to someone on this, D-Nice. I'm not here to rag on anybody. Stereophonics is asking, where's the source where he retracted? I want to find that too, because it's crazy. And Planet Q Screen was also trying to tell me that in part of the image that she sent was that there was a thing saying that that Shay, the accuser in the lawsuit, that she admitted to lying about all of this in people's DMs in the past. I'm like, I read the DMs and I saw it. I'm like trying to look up the information. I wish there was a way to try to do some sort of digital proof, because it's a screenshot within another image within another screenshot. That is a freaking nightmare for an amateur digital artist like me. So usually I can take a look and I can run a couple of tests on an image to see whether it's authentic or if it's been doctored. I've done some study on that stuff, but doing that within an image of an image of an image of an image is like a nightmare. So I can't even disprove that, and I can't even check its authenticity. As painful as it is, Planet Q's Queen, it looks like it's a legitimate screenshot, but it could very easily also have been doctored as well, and that could be a problem too.
Assuming, of course, that they could be proven for doctoration. A lot of claims are well and good until they actually get disproven all of a sudden. It's complicated.
This one is way messier. This one is way messier and way more way more convoluted than what we saw in the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. So this is not going to be clear cut. This is not going to be pretty, and I doubt that the parties involved are going to want to have this televised or publicized the way that trial was done, if only because doing this would be extremely volatile to everybody involved. Not to mention
this is a career destroyer.
Not to mention the threats that are already coming against people who are trying to defend this girl. Like,
definitely.
There's already folks. Let me see. Okay, pin conversations. I already know what pin conversations are. Leave me alone. I don't know what they are. You don't have to explain. Freaking fucking screens.
Fucking technology.
Fucking
Every
technology.
time
How does it work?
Bullshit.
Okay. Because I have to show this, I'm going to show this screenshot, and folks can take this as it is for themselves. Again, grain of salt. Believe or not believe, it's up to you. I have to present this. Planet Q's Queen definitely wants people to see this, but as far as I can tell, this is still very grain of salty for me here.
Yes.
So I'm having a really tough time trying to see whether or not there was actually anything to it. Okay, Johnny's. Okay, you sent the interview. Also, okay, it was an interview that Aaron Carter had. What is that on BT Sports? I can't play the other people's video, unfortunately, because No Jumper is the No Jumper podcast. I'll share the link there, but I can't play the video over here. We're still too small. YouTube and Auntie Susan doesn't like us that much. I'll put the link on that. And sorry, I'm trying not to get I'm trying not to get worked up and worried what's happening with D Nice. I hope they're okay. I really do. Now we do have to keep this 100 when it comes to the situation with Nick Carter. Like I said, what would this guy stand to lose? He would stand to lose a lot if he was taken to court and if he was dragged. It was dragged across the coals for all this in order to present to folks what was going on with this lawsuit here. I'm actually trying to find the other screenshot that you sent me. Give me a minute. Here it is. Okay. Just a moment, please. You see that, like, this is the screenshot that's going around. It's being shared by someone else on Twitter, BSB YouTube. Clearly a Backstreet Boys fan. They're saying Nick Carter is innocente. Okay. And you see here, and you can even see that's the borders on here. Screenshot after screenshot, then screenshot, and that's a problem. I can't see this whether or not if it's actually legit or not legit, and that's a pain in the ass for anyone trying to do digital forensic evidence on this shit.
It's a lot to claim that somebody is innocent or guilty, but at the end of the day, we still need some matter of solid evidence. And that's why I believe that the accuser is actually bringing something here, because shit, man, if I was about to accuse somebody of something so serious, I would bring something to prove myself. At the end of the day, tears and accusations are not going to be enough. You actually have to prove it. That's where it gets complicated, isn't it?
That's where it's going to be so horrible and it's so terrible. Because you got to imagine if this person, if Shay, since they really are someone dealing with these emotional issues, if they really are dealing with issues of cerebral palsy on top of being on the spectrum, this stuff doesn't come easy.
No.
Okay, I've got too many friends who are already on the spectrum who have been completely ostracized just for being who they are. Now imagine that, and also having been a victim of sexual assault and people brushing you off. I've actually had two other friends. I'm not going to name them. I'm not going to put them on the spot, who have also had these sort of issues, and they had to let their predator go. They had to let their predator get away. Even though they had evidence and no one wanted to believe them on it. I don't want to, like, I can only imagine how much more horrible it is if it's someone famous. In this case, if it's
been 20 years.
Exactly. And it's since the screenshot of the text, the DM is so small I can't zoom into it properly to save my life. Not from a lack of trying. You guys saw me trying to do it here. Can I tell you something? Supposedly from Shannon. From Shay, supposedly. It's down here in the lower right-hand corner of the screenshot. It says, yes, of course you can. I feel bad. I didn't get hurt by Nick like Melissa and Ashley did. He hurt me by saying really mean things and bullying me. I feel like I don't really have a right to talk about it or be in the fight because what Melissa and Ashley went through is much worse. And this one is... It says that it's stamped from October 20th of 2019 at 2200 hours 16 minutes. Like I said, this screenshot has been making the rounds since the accusation was put up, since it was put forward. How the hell is it that this was already ready to go? Okay.
Yeah, a little too convenient how quickly this showed up. Like, but that is the one thing you have to like suspect the most when it comes to this kind of thing. Anything that seems too convenient, more often than not, tends to be, unfortunately. Only in very rare cases does the evidence tends to line up so perfectly, doesn't it?
I'm afraid so. We have to treat this shit with a skeptical eye, and since there's no way to prove that as either real or doctored, I don't think it can even be used in any way, shape, or form as any sort of legitimate evidence.
I mean, they have used screenshots like this before. They have been used.
Yeah.
But they had to actually be clear. We actually have to see what the hell they're saying.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like, I'm seeing folks are are leaving because we're not totally cozying up to Backstreet Boys. God dang it! I hope not.
So be it.
Like, I hope that's not the case. I hope folks are, like, literally just trying not to be late to go to work in the morning or whatever. But, like, putting it simply...
Hey, we didn't got into this for the clout. If I'm going to piss off the fan of the Backstreet Boys, I might. I got to hold this shit accountable.
We're not here to make anybody smile.
Well, not in this instance. It's if you guys want us to give you a laugh and give you a good time, check out our other shows. We've got Wrestle Rewind. If you want to hear Jose talk about pro wrestling and us joke about stuff. The Ravens Flock. We talk about all sorts of different kinds of news, and we have our fun and we goof around there. Los Amigos Play. Angel. That says it all. Los Amigos Play. Friends play.
I play video games and shit.
And we have a hell of a fucking time. So 75% of the time, we're here to give you guys fun every week on the Ravens Flock channel. 25%, that's my territory. No fun sometimes. Sometimes we can have fun.
For once, I'm sorry to say, the fun is most definitely not allowed today.
Not in this instance. This is no fun. Yeah. I cannot imagine what there would be to gain. Why are there... Yeah, no, there are no winners here. 20 years from Stereophonics' mom... is 20 years ago, though she may been able to get around, my coworker was able to drive, work as well, and walk as a young adult. Yeah, don't take any physical disability as an automatic rejection of what's provable. If she was able to get around back then, she's definitely able to get around now. So there's got to be ways to do it. And yeah, if the lawyers in between all this, during their discovery process, during all this stuff, lawyers have to go through a lot of, the stream health is
bullshit.
Yeah, they have to go through a lot of crap. They have to go through a lot of stuff. But so they'll probably be a lot better at digital forensics than I am. So if they're able to see screenshots similar to that, and if they're able to prove this is good, or no, this was doctored, they'll show it. They'll say it. That being said, I do also want to let you guys know another friend of the Ravens Flock, Sarah DeArmond, who is the head of the nonprofit charity Voiceless Behind Bars, and a close friend of mine. She even let me know that she's spoken with Shay over the phone on this stuff. Sarah has got a gigantic heart. She is very much on the camp of folks who have been wronged deserve a chance to be heard. That's why she started Voiceless Behind Bars. Sarah advocates for wrongfully convicted prisoners, and she advocates to have people who are behind bars have their say, either have their sentences reduced or overturned, get them freed, get them to go home. So Sarah, she's got a gigantic heart. Shay and Sarah have actually been speaking because Sarah's also been following this Nick Carter story over the years. Because Sarah's actually been following this before Melissa Schumann came around. Before Melissa. So she's been following on these different stories and these accusations like, okay, there's something rotten in Denmark when it comes to the Backstreet Boys. There's something rotten going on with Nick Carter, but no one wants to come after him because it's goddamn Nick Carter. Because it's a goddamn Backstreet Boy. Also, Tam, holy shit. You sent a $5 tip to the Ravens flock on our tip jar. Thank you so much. Thank you guys. We appreciate it.
We appreciate it.
Like, thank you.
Now, thank you for that. We do appreciate it a lot. Now, Sarah was over here. She talked to me, and she actually said, I spoke with Shay, and she said that she is deathly afraid of the Backstreet Boy fans, the super uber fans, the ones who are going so far out of their way to crap on anyone who would dare besmirch their boy band. How dare you make my 42-year-old, 19-year-old looking dude look bad in a day? Like, those kind of psychotic people. I'm not saying that Planet Q's Queen is one of them. I know you're not. You got more brains than that, and you're definitely not that kind of person. I'm not accusing you of that, Planet Q's Queen, at all.
That's what leads me to believe that the accuser does, in fact, may have some evidence to turn the tides. Because they have dealt with this for 2 decades. They have been mocked repeatedly. They have been disbelieved. And most likely than not, they have been piled on by those very same fans. And now they're willing to take this to court, which means that they risk the fact that if this goes wrong, they will have to deal with the fact that they are considered the guilty party, plus those fans will be essentially galvanized in their belief that they were right. If they're willing to put that risk, it's pretty clear that they're not looking to search for money. Nobody would keep this up for 20 fucking years for money.
I wouldn't be going after I totally agree with you there, Angel. There was something like this without actually going full board, taking this long to finally getting the word out and building up the courage to get a lawsuit in. That's where this is going to come forward. Now,
exactly.
This is what's up.
At least, mind you, I'm not immediately saying that Carter is guilty, nor am I claiming that he's innocent. All I'm saying is that based on the information I'm seeing here, nobody in their right mind would hold back this court for over 2 goddamn decades unless they were basically ready to lose it all or very sure they were going to win.
Exactly. It's thank you, Angel. You're hitting this right on the head. Holy shit, man. Like I mentioned earlier how I had that grudge against Aaron Carter. I had a grudge where we were children and he was a prick to me, and if I ever see him I'll probably sock him in the mouth. But I didn't go out of my way for 20 years to try to fucking actually go and punch him in the mouth. I just said if I ever saw him again, hey,
just imagine Juan every day boxing to a punching bag with his face on it, just every single day, non-stop.
Exactly.
No explanation to his wife and kids, just repeating the same motion every day for his entire life until he went bald.
Fucking hell, Angel. Really slipping in a One Punch Man reference?
Yes.
Thank you.
One punch.
Yes, because why not?
Okay. Oh God, please don't let me go bald like that. Oh God.
But you'll become amazingly strong.
But my masculine, manly mullet.
It's okay. You still have your epic chesticles, bro.
Chest hair. Anyway, no. No, for crying out loud. On the other hand, with what Shay's been living with, on the other hand, if this kind of thing haunts you, this sort of trauma whether it's whether you want to say that she fabricated it or whatnot or whatever. Like, no, this sort of trauma doesn't just come up overnight and say, okay, today's the day I'm going to live out being fucking traumatized by a Backstreet Boy, or today's the day that I'm gonna fucking try to get a lawsuit against 1/5 on one of the highest rated musical acts of all time. What could possibly go wrong? No, it's not. No one
really
does that kind of shit willy-nilly. No one. I don't care how many issues, how many cognitive issues that person may have had. No one comes to that kind of fucking decision lightly. Not a one.
Yeah.
You prove to me, you show me someone who will make that kind of gigantic snap decision on a whim, and I'll fucking eat my own feet.
Bizarre topic into the fetish of the world aside, Juan is correct. This is not the kind of thing that you do unless you are 100% desperate or you are 100% sure. And the person seems to be, for lack of a better term, well, 100% sure. There is no other way we can put this except this person is 100% sure they're going to do it. And I'm genuinely curious. I mean, mind you, we just got the news of this. So we'll have to update the crew as it happens. Right now, we're just spitballing and throwing information to the wind. Which is why I refuse to claim that somebody's guilty or innocent yet. I'm just a little weary of the fact that this has happened before several times. And even his other brother, who is an admitted fuck-up of a person, did not like this guy. I'm not saying that is an admission of guilt. I'm saying it's pretty damning evidence. As you ever so helpfully pointing out a few years ago, where there's smoke, there tends to be fire. And mind you, we have been wrong about the smoke before, but I'm sad to say that more often than not, we did found something burning. And I don't know, shit looks a little steamy right now. You know what I mean?
Angel does have a good point. This is one of the topics where we definitely need to do a follow-up on at a later time. So
I'm afraid so. Yeah. The lawyer of Nick Carter. Let me get his name over here. Michael Holtz just flat out denied the claims. Whole cloth, saying, well, of
course they would.
Yeah, here's the official quote from the guy. This claim about an incident that supposedly took place more than 20 years ago is not only legally meritless, but also entirely untrue. Unfortunately, for several years now, Ms. Ruth has been manipulated into making false allegations about Nick, and those allegations have changed repeatedly and materially over time. No one should be fooled by a press stunt orchestrated by an opportunistic lawyer. There is nothing to this claim whatsoever, which we have no doubts the courts will quickly realize. Says the guy who's on retainer by a Backstreet Boy. If that's not opportunistic, every lawyer is opportunistic. Don't try to play that.
Yeah, hell, if a lawyer wasn't opportunistic, I wouldn't hire them.
Afraid not. Yeah, it's as far as that line goes. And there's even the fucking the rumor that that's been going around on everyone's favorite cesspool, internet cesspool, Twitter. No, sorry, Tumblr, you didn't make the list this week. Better than
for once.
For once, that somehow all these accusers who have been coming after Nick Carter are all somehow being bankrolled and financed and masterminded by Melissa Schumann somehow. Thank you. That's exact.
Oh, that's adorable. I'm sorry. How rich is she again?
Not.
No,
look. Okay, Dream was one of the hottest acts in the early 2000s. It was literally an issue with once Melissa Schumann wanted to go ahead and move on her own. Before Dream came out with after their first album, it was all a dream, and then their second one, Reality. She dipped out of the group in between, so she wanted to strike out on her own. Over there, she's just been working, trying to do acting work, trying to do singing work on her own. She's not a multi-platinum artist solo. She's not a multi-millionaire. She doesn't have Backstreet Boy money. I don't know how anyone could think that she's somehow puppeteering, masterminding, puppet stringing any fucking buddy.
All according to Keikakus, really, motherfucker.
I could actually grab the spotlight. No, I can't. It won't reflect the way I want it. I was going to grab the spotlight on the lamp over here and try to get it to reflect on my light like Gendo Ikari from Evangelion. No,
Do the
she ain't the
pose.
one. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. Think of it logically, folks. I want folks to try to look at this logically as best as possible. Melissa had been putting this post up back in 2017. That's when Melissa came forward about what happened to her between her and Nick Carter. Whether you want to believe her allegations or not, that's on you. It's not my place. My personal opinion, I've actually been like on and off in communication with Melissa and with Ashley Poole from Dream, and I have not had any reason to think that they're bullshitting me. And more to the point, Sarah, like, she works in like advocacy. She works in like civil rights advocacy. She has to be able to vouch for people when she's taking up cases for her nonprofit. If she's speaking with Shay and Shay is telling her, I am deathly afraid for myself because of these of the psychotic Backstreet fans, Sarah vets for people and vouches for people and doesn't have any real doubt that Shay is trying to bullshit her. Now, whether or not if Shay has any sort of issues with the details of the story due to her condition, or if there is anything else happening on there, that's one thing. But I'm not going to fault Sarah on that. And I really won't fault Shay that much on there, because trying to say, oh, like, again, we don't want to fall into the ableism trap on there. They're saying, oh, like, offhand, Shay is lying because she's got mental issues and because she got cerebral palsy. Fuck that person, Nick, all the way. No, fuck that. If that's the kind of person that you are, if that's the kind of thinking you got, I want nothing to do with you. Moreover, with that being said, Sarah does her homework. I do my homework. And if Shay is just talking to Sarah on the fly for this stuff, then Sarah doesn't just take people up just because. So I trust this line of work on this. At this point, it's going to come up to whether this comes to a settlement or if it goes straight up to court. Is Shay going to accept a settlement? I don't know. Is there anything that that Nick Carter's attorneys are probably going to be like, okay, this lady's going to be more trouble than she's worth. It's going to be more expensive for you in the long run to deal with a trial. You're likely going to have to come off of your tour. Your family's going to have issues on this. You're going to want to set up a settlement. Is he going to take it? Is he going to take it?
Good question.
He, like, for his own interest, he would Nick Carter would probably want to try to offer a settlement. On the other hand,
that is likely.
On the other hand, Shay may not want a settlement. She probably doesn't give two shits about the money. If she does, she'll say so, she'll do so. That'll be that. That's not going to necessarily mean that that Nick Carter's innocent. It's going to mean that
it just means that he has enough money to throw around to avoid the worst of the law.
Exactly. But it seems that she's adamant that she wants to take this to trial. At least that's what it shows here. This is her quote from, again, the Vulture article. This is where I'm getting a reference on this. There's a lot of other news outlets that have this exact same info. I'm not just taking it. It's mainly because I don't have to pay through a paywall.
We ain't just pissing in the wind here, okay? We have news sources.
And we're broke. So we don't...
There's that too.
We are not pissing in the wind, but we still can't afford a toilet.
Exactly. Now, here's her quote. This is her statement from what she said. The last 21 years have been filled with pain, confusion, frustration, shame, and self-harm that are a direct result of Nick Carter raping me. That's what she said in the press conference. Now,
Damn.
Even though I'm autistic with cerebral palsy, I believe that nothing has affected me more or had a more lasting impact on my life than what Nick Carter did and said to me. I remember him calling me a retarded bitch and grabbing me and leaving bruises on my arm. Then, Ruth alleged Carter intimidated her, saying, "No one would believe me if I told what happened. He was nasty and threatening, saying I would go to jail if I told. He also turned people against me because he was Nick Carter and he had the power to wreck my life. After my assault, I didn't realize this. I started cutting myself. I felt like I had nowhere to turn to, no way to express my emotions, pain, and confusion except by hurting myself. And I truly believe that if I told anyone, I would go to jail, and I'm still struggling with that. Okay. I read the first stuff over here. I didn't realize that she had self-harm. Oh, shit. Sorry about that. I would have put that in the...
Hey, we did put that trigger warning right ahead. We did told them this was going to get serious.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
And Planet Q's Queen is saying that there wasn't any autograph line back then during the tour where this happened. That 2001 was the Backstreet Boys Black and Blue tour. That was the name of their album, so that was the music that they were highlighting, and that there wasn't any autograph lines during that tour. So again, that's something that was historical that other folks are bringing forth. So that's when this was. That's when this was when this event had taken place. Now, that being said, oh my God. Oh, fuck. I wasn't expecting that. Sorry, guys.
No, I was. I figured it was going to come up sooner or later.
No need to apologize, Juancho. This is exactly what we do.
Yeah, no,
we did warn the folks that we were going to deal with some uncomfortable subjects, so it's good that we're at least getting it out of the way now.
Right. At least trying to. God dang it. Guys, someone else, please, for a second. I need to shake my brain out. Fuck. Give me a minute.
You take your time, fam.
Angel,
we'll be here to entertain the folks.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, do you want to take 5 and let me and Angel talk for a bit?
Please.
All right. Easy. All right. So yeah. So going back to what Angel said, I think we can all agree, general consensus, right now, it is way too damn early. We'll need to follow up on this story on a later episode of the Ravens Flock. This is obviously something that we're not going to ignore.
Obviously, but it's not something that we can cover in one episode, especially that just now. Honestly, the fact that just now this came to light and the result has been this deluge of back and forth worries me immensely, because as much as I hate to stereotype, unfortunately, most of the time, whenever a celebrity is accused of some heinous crime that violates every human right that we know of, more often than not, the accuser is right. I mean, hey, in a better world, this kind of thing wouldn't happen. But unfortunately, based on what little information we're getting here, it's looking very likely like it's going to be, it's going to be a case of, yeah, this actually happened. And no, only now do we have enough proper, power to bring it to light. Think about that for a second. It took a goddamn suicide from another family member just to bring this problem to light. And that's not even to prove innocence of guilt, just to tell people that something like this may have happened. And based on what we heard before, it may have happened several times before.
Right. And you know what, Angel, you do have a good point. History has shown us that, when a celebrity is being outed for sexual misconduct or something of that level, it usually falls in favor of the accuser.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's unfortunate this has to happen, that somehow all the people that have so much fame, charisma, money end up committing these horrible atrocities. But if there is one thing that we have learned over this time and place, is that the more money you have, the more detached you become of human norms, until eventually you start doing horrible things without even realizing that you are doing something horrible, because it's natural to you. After all, the rules don't apply to a person who has enough money to ignore the rules. And I hate to say it, but it's looking very likely that is the case again.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh man, I've lost count of how many times, how many celebrities, how many famous people, famous names managed to evade from getting, how do I say, not outed, but I'm looking for another word. Oh, getting
desserts.
Getting their just desserts by using either lots and lots of money or just in name value alone.
With just good old-fashioned celebrity status, they can achieve extraordinary things, much to my chagrin. And hell, it's not even towards people who are poorer than them. It's towards each other. You seen celebrity marriages? That shit never lasts for a reason.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh my goodness.
Brutal.
Man, celebrity marriages. Man, I almost forgot that's a thing.
Trust me, everybody else wanted to. It's honestly kind of a shame because this is unfortunately a brutal reminder that as much as we wish we could avoid this kind of problem, celebrity worship is still a thing. The standing, the simping, call it whatever you want to. Once upon a time, people worshiped the celebrities they saw in the magazines. Now they worship the celebrities that they see in online blogs. It's not even something like Hollywood celebrities, YouTube celebrities, Twitch celebrities, professional streamers, VTubers. The bizarre building of an entire industry created on nothing more than parasocial relationships creates this horde of hungry, insane creatures that can barely be described as human. That will
I think I know
basically
what you're
take.
talking about, Angel. I think you're going by the culture of and the ideal and the psychology of cultism.
Yes, exactly. This unfortunately creates a group of people that are, quite frankly, unable and unwilling to accept the fact that, much as we hate to admit it, the people that they worship are ultimately people. And they can be just as flawed and twisted as anyone else. And, well, every now and then we get to see just how twisted a person can get. And assuming that this is correct, this might actually allow all the other victims, if they were actually there in this case, and assuming that all these suits were proper, it might bring them a little closure. Because ultimately, and I hate to feel like I'm taking sides here, but if the accuser is willing to pull this off for 20 goddamn years, they have to have a face down card ready. There must be something there that has convinced them that this time, not only can they take it to court, but they can prove it. Though that will be the part that we'll have to see once it actually gets to that point. Welcome back, my dude. Juan? Hope you're holding on all right.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I needed to shake off the brain juices. Literally earlier today, I was having my own problems with my own chronic pain, and
shit,
and it sucked and it was horrible. So I was still a little edgy. That set me over the edge. I'm okay. I'm all right. I'm all right.
I'm glad that you're fine, bro.
Trying to be all right. Gotta be professional.
Gotta get the cash.
No, you're fine. You're fine. To help catch
yeah.
You're fine, Juancho. To help catch you up, Angel was just
listening the whole time. I was listening the whole time. Don't
Okay.
worry. I was listening the whole time, and I agree with you guys. And it can be a problem, and that's just it. This can go either way, actually, if you think about it, because there are 4 distinct possibilities. I remember I brought this up to Steph the Alter Nerd. There are appearances of 4 kinds. Remember, things either are as they appear to be, or they neither are nor appear to be, or they are or do not appear to be, or they are not and yet appear to be.
Damn.
This was from the philosopher Epictetus of Phrygia. There's some ancient Greek philosophy here for you. So
nice.
This case against Nick Carter, this accusation that Shay put forward, this can go one of 4 ways. Either what was said, either what happened to her was true, and Nick is going to be held liable, or it was true and he's not going to be held liable, or it was not true and he will be held liable, or Shay will be held liable, or it wasn't true and she'll be held liable. So nice. It's either one of them is telling the truth and the other isn't, and either one of them will be held liable for this trial or they won't.
I see. I see.
So this is why these kind of cases where an allegation from a long time ago, it's going to be harder to come up. It's going to be harder to come forward. Shit like this has toppled men like Harvey Weinstein, But on the other hand, there's other guys who have had situations like this come up and they managed to shake it off. Now, in each one of these cases, there have been multiple allegations by multiple people, And whether or not those allegations individually are true or not, we're not going to be able to know 100%.
Not yet.
What the case is going to prove is going to see who's going to be liable for these accusations. Remember, it's preponderance of evidence. It's burden of proof. And a lot of the burden of proof is going to be, sadly, on Shay's end.
That is true. She is bringing out the accusation. So it is up to her to prove that she is innocent and that the accused is guilty.
That's just it. And it's going to be extremely tough. And like I said, no one's accusing Planet Q's Queen of being a stan. I'm not accusing her of being a stan. Nobody come after anyone in our chat. I will kick your ass if you do. Don't tempt me. I'll do it. Okay?
Please remember that what we're doing here is ultimately speculation until we get further information based on the limited results that we have received. Please do not assault, harass, pursue, or insult anybody involved in this mess. The last thing you want to do is be proven wrong and end up with egg on your face. And you don't want to be proven wrong on the internet now, do you?
Because no one will
Agreed.
Let
Let's
that go.
try to keep
That's
it.
the horrible part.
Agreed. Let's try to keep it civil, folks. Okay.
Exactly.
For the love
We
of
can
God.
pull out the pitchforks and the torches later when somebody is clear count, guilty, and we can probably strung them up in the middle of the plaza. You can even bring the kids. We have a new rope. But until then,
For the love of God, Angel.
until the judge brings down the Gable, Henry Gavel, then and only then we will wait. Remember, the truth is what we're seeing here, not mere spectacle for the pleasure of the masses.
And that's what seems to be feeding everyone online, the internet hate machines of people. Everybody wants like crazy to just jump on one camp or another, but we have to also understand and try to treat each other like human beings. I'm gonna treat Shay like a human being, more especially because of the situation. She is in a much more vulnerable position because she has a lot less people in her corner in this one. She's got a lot less people on her side in this one, and it's going to be tough. It's going to be extremely tough. She deserves at least the benefit of the doubt. She deserves that. And as much of a pain in the ass as it is, as heinous as it is, Nick Carter also maintains the benefit of the doubt because he's got to prove his innocence, or rather, more to the point, in the court, once it actually comes down, his lawyers have to prove that there isn't enough evidence to show that Shay's accusation is credible. And that's the part that sucks.
Correct.
There hasn't been a court date that's been announced yet from what I've found. And this is going to be horrible in the meantime because everyone involved, especially Shay, she's withdrawn from the internet. She's withdrawn from Twitter. She already had dealt with it moments before she'd gone ahead and put this forward. So I can only imagine what she's living through. Meanwhile, Nick Carter literally has lawyers and fans and stans and folks who are willing to put people over a bridge to defend him, whether it's right or wrong.
Yeah, someone clearly has the advantage of this shit.
Is that necessarily fair? No, it's not.
Alas, it is not. But at that point, all we can do is trust the victim to actually come through with the information. If they truly have what it takes to turn the tide of this battle and genuinely show that they were the proper, that they were innocent and unguilty of this mess, then, hey, it will be another point for justice. And if it turns out that she is wrong and he is innocent of this particular case, then, well, unlikely as it may be, that will be a point for justice too. Justice is, as they say, blind. And we're about to see that once again.
And that's why I said there's going to be 4 distinct outcomes. Either the claim was fabricated or not, or it's going to be or she's going to be liable, or Nick Carter's going to be liable. And
yeah.
I'm not going to knock anyone in this instance, but I've already given my opinion on this. In my personal opinion, motherfucker's got too much shade on him to be totally clean.
If we can speak on a personal level, this motherfucker's sus.
Very sus.
These are our opinions.
These are just opinions here. Take it with a grain of salt. If we are wrong, we will swallow our pride and admit that we were wrong we are not so stupid as to claim that we're always right. But if we are right, I'm not saying I'm going to do a little dance. I'm saying you're going to hear me doing it.
Angel will pick up tap dancing. He's got 5 left feet and a toe that he picked up from someone. It's not his own toe, but he will dance.
Yeah, classic Angel.
Okay. But no, like seriously, guys, we're going to be as plain on this as we are, because, like I said, I personally believe that there's too much. There's too many accusations over the years, even before Melissa. So anyone who wants to think that Melissa Schumann was trying to fabricate shit, y'all can fuck off with that. She's not some goddamn mastermind. I don't think that she's capable of masterminding that kind of stuff. There's been shit that came up about Nick Carter over the years before then, and there's too much shade behind him for it to be for this to be incredible.
That is correct.
D Nice was saying, according to the National Institute of Justice, DNA profiling plays a major role in sexual assault cases, but has significant shortcoming. Using the current standard DNA profiling method, many jurisdictions require the collection of evidentiary samples within 3 days of the assault. After that, it may become difficult to obtain a usable DNA profile of the male subject.
That's true, unfortunately. Physical evidence is organic. It does decay, so... we'll see what happens there. Like I said, if you're going to pull this up after 20 years, you better have something in your pocket ready to prove, because otherwise...
It's going to be an uphill climb. You're going to be sat down at a poker table with no cards and been told to bluff. Yes, that's a Dr. McCoy from Star Trek Beyond. No, Star Trek Into Darkness. There we go. Yeah, Carl Urban's Dr. McCoy. There was some good stuff that came out of those damn Abrams movies.
Something good. At last.
Well, then again, Carl Urban is damn good in nearly everything he's done. He was freaking Julius Caesar in Xena Warrior Princess.
Well,
you're gonna knock him on that?
Can't argue with that.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna since I know that we've had there's a lot of contention, and folks, I really do appreciate every single one of you guys coming in tonight. I really do appreciate all y'all, and I want to give a personal message to Shay before we start wrapping up. I don't know what you may have what you may live through, Shay. I'm going to be speaking directly to you in this one. I don't know what you lived through. I'm not going to pretend to know what you lived through. I'm not going to mock you and say that what you lived through was that it didn't happen. Only you know whether or not that was true, whether or not it really happened. Only you know how these experiences came forward, and you're the only one who really has to live with it. I'm sorry that we can't read each other's minds. I'm sorry that we're not able to provide 100% proof, or that we're able to provide beyond a reasonable doubt. I'm sorry in advance, because you're going to be going through something that is extremely arduous. And if what you've said was true, and this is the stuff that you had to live with all these years, I can't imagine that you're a tougher person than I am for living with this much trauma, with living with this much hardship, on top of already having to deal with personal stuff and dealing with personal physical and mental issues. I've got brain juice problems too, as has been shown before, but I'm not going to diminish that. You shouldn't be diminished from your experiences based on that alone. You shouldn't be diminished.
Indeed.
Like Angel even said, last week, we're not going to diminish people just by their race or their creed or their gender or their physical abilities or their sexual gender or any of that stuff. We should judge people on whether or not they're an asshole. I don't think you're an asshole.
Make your hatred personal. Make your grudges come from the heart, and let your soul burn with the unbridled hatred for the individual.
God damn it, man.
You gotta wake up extra early to be a really good hater like me.
Yeah, well, at least I know Buddha's okay. He's all right. He said that he's been okay. Just hasn't shown up.
I'm glad to hear.
But,
really? You spoke with Buddha?
Just one blurb earlier today while I was in the middle of work and trying to help in the moderating Popcorn Planet. But seriously, getting to Shay, I don't think that you're an asshole. I don't think that you're invalid just because you have cerebral palsy or because you're on the spectrum. I'm pretty sure I'm on the spectrum. I'm pretty sure Angel and his AR too. But living through traumatic experiences, I don't wish that on anyone. That being said, I hope justice is served. I hope that you can find peace in what comes forward. And I hope that whatever happens, that you come away with it with a better lot in your life or with a better understanding in your life. And I hope that you find peace. And as far as Nick Carter is concerned, I've got a personal message for Nick Carter too. All right. I'll be the first one to say, yeah, okay. I was one of the kids growing up who's like, oh, Backstreet Boys are lame and they're gay and they suck, whatever, as a stupid kid would. All right? I'm not going to diminish you as a human being either. But you cannot deny that in this instance, you do have an extreme advantage in terms of wealth and resources, not to mention public opinion. If there's been anything that you've done in this that has actually wronged this person, you need to come correct. If there isn't, it's going to come out either way. But don't try to hide behind your brother's passing. Don't try to smear this person based on her physical or mental abilities or lack thereof. Don't play those mudslinging games. If you're as good a person as every one of your fans are touting you to be, then you have to live up to that and you have to come correct. If you did something wrong, come correct and fess up to it. Be a man. Be an upright human being. Stand up for what's correct. All right. If this is going to go to trial, it'll go to trial. And the same wish that I gave to Shay, I wish that you find some sort of peace in this. But don't try to pretend that you're 100% innocent on this instance. This has been these accusations have been going on for ages. If there's something that you did, you have to admit it. Our friend Andy, he had receipts and he fessed up to the wrongdoings that he did. And people still shit on him. I respect Andy because he brought the receipts, because he admitted to his wrongdoings, and because he made active steps to be a better person. Take a page off of Andy's book. Take a page off of him. If there was stuff that you did wrong, fess up, come correct, and be a better person and try to be a better person for it. Don't try to pretend you're 100% innocent. And don't try to pretend that you don't have a preponderance of like public goodwill and resources at your disposal that are clearly easy to use to smear your detractors. Be a better person than that. Be honorable. For fuck's sake. That's all I'm gonna say on this over here. I'm pretty much done on this end. Angel, Jose, either of you guys have any last words?
All I can say is that I hope that justice is delivered. That is all I can hope for. Because nothing that is done at this point can fix what has been done, if it has been done. So if it goes down to it, I want justice to triumph yet again. We have seen it happen before. I want justice to occur. That is all I can ask.
Ditto.
Also, what the fuck do you mean Henry Cavill is not playing Superman anymore?
Oh, yeah, you heard that news too, right, Angel?
God damn it!
For fuck's sake.
I take it all back. There is no justice. Grab a gun. We're going vigilante.
No, Angel! We don't need to. We already have
Nope.
Peacemaker.
We made a mistake. I dare to believe in James Gunn, and clearly I was wrong.
No.
James Gunn. Now I'm hating on James Gunn for personal reasons.
Oh my God! Wow, Angel's quick to flip on the dime on James Gunn.
I had reasons to not trust that some bitch.
You can imagine that James Gunn probably tried. But if Henry Cavill doesn't want to, then he doesn't want to.
Man,
if you want to get mad at anyone, get mad at Henry Cavill.
No, I'm getting mad at BW, because apparently the release of Henry Cavill, as well as the release of Gal Gadot, and as well as the release of Jason Momoa, came around the fact that apparently we found out that they're spending a huge amount of money just to recoup the costs. So I am genuinely going to believe that they couldn't afford them.
Oh, God dang it.
But that's another different thing. Now, for many reasons, I am hoping justice is done.
God dang it, Angel. Angel, it's okay. We have Peacemaker still.
Yeah, we have Peacemaker still. For now.
Jose, how about you? Last words on your end?
No, I'm on the same boat with Angel. I honestly do hope that justice is served. And like I said, I'm also with you on this one, Juancho. We shouldn't lean on one side over the other. We should wait until how the rest of these events unfold, and whatever happens, we're going to be the ones to talk about it, folks.
Yep.
And so messed up, but we have to.
Yeah,
right, guys. I appreciate everybody on here, and all you guys are trying to discuss this stuff. Planet Q's Queen saying that no one's letting Nick talk. I'm pretty sure Nick's probably trying to keep shut until there is any sort of
the lawyers are basically telling me, shut your mouth, don't say anything, shut up, don't say anything.
So
pretty much,
it's less likely that he's not being that he's being forced to be silent by the media, and it's more likely that he's keeping his mouth shut because his lawyer told him to.
So now we'll wait to see what the lawyer tells him he can say.
Occam's razor. That's what this all boils down to. That's what a civil lawsuit boils down to. There's more philosophy for you there. Steph, I've got brownie points over you on this in terms of philosophy. You know your stuff. I know mine. Occam's razor. Very simple. It holds that if all sides being equal, if all possibilities are equal, the likeliest the likeliest outcome tends to be the correct one. So it's more likely that Nick Carter was told immediately after this press conference that came out last week from Shay and her lawyer, like, okay, they're taking to court. Nick, you shut the fuck up. Don't say a word. Don't tweet. Don't Insta. No nothing. You just live like nothing's going on, like a care in the world. We're handling this shit. Don't you fucking talk to the press at all, because they could take one word and that'll throw you all out. That's what any lawyer will say. Likely that's why after the press conference, before the press conference, Shay removed her social media presence, because she knew that once that came forward, she was going to be inundated with deluge of inquiries and like hate mail and all that other jazz, just like Nick would be. So that it's much more likely that, they're not being canceled by woke medias and stuff. Yeah, ABC took the show off, but that's Disney. They always cover their ass. They're always trying to cover their ass before anything else. And Heather, whatever. Okay. Oh my God. Okay.
I actually like your philosophy, Wancho, the Occam's razor philosophy. I used it a couple of times here on this program, and I threw you for a loop.
Yeah, you surprise me sometimes. You remember shit.
Yeah, that's right. You go choke on my Occam's razor, bitch.
That sounds like a horror movie execution.
Funny, Jodie Foster said the same thing.
Ha!
No, wait, not Jodie Foster. Matthew McConaughey. He's the one who said it.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it was In Contact.
Yeah, oh my God.
That's an awesome movie. Terribly underrated. All right. So we don't have any super announcements for the program except for two things. Jose, let them know what we're doing tomorrow night on
Well, I have more
Rewind.
than two. I have more than two things, Watcher. I have plenty of announcements. What are you talking about?
Oh, really? You have more than what? But we
Hang
can't
on.
do a show. We're going to be at Holiday Matsuri. Sorry.
That's what I was going to get at. Jesus Christ. Let me take the reins for a few minutes, Watcher.
Okay, then. Take them. Yippee-ki-yay.
Oh, my God. Mute yourself. Anyway, so yeah, real quick. There will not be an edition of the Ravens Flock this Saturday, nor will we be streaming Los Amigos Play, because we will be attending Holiday Matsuri 2022. It's going to be from Friday, December 16th till Sunday, December 18th at the Orlando World Center Marriott Hotel in Orlando, Florida. It is a holiday convention. It happens once every year. We have a pretty pretty established, awesome history with Holiday Matsuri. Lots of fun times to be had. There's a lot of great shows that I'm looking forward to. They have their benefit ball for Friday evening. They also have a burlesque show Saturday night as well for anyone who likes to 18 and over adult content.
Please be
and
18
they have
plus. Don't be an asshole and try to sneak in being underage.
exactly.
Yeah, lie properly and force your ID like the rest of us.
Wow.
You grab your own printer and learn how to laminate like a man. No.
Exactly.
We're expecting to see a lot of great cosplays, a lot of amazing guests that have been announced for Holiday Matsuri, and overall a wonderful time. And if you're there in the area, please go ahead and check it out. Now, as far as announcements goes for this week, for tomorrow night's edition of Wrestle Rewind, which is at 10 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and Twitch, along with my reviews of WWE, NXT, AEW Dynamite, and Impact Wrestling, I will be covering the main event for this year's pay-per-view event of WWE's NXT Deadline, where Bron Breakker defends the NXT Championship against Apollo Crews, and I will also be covering the main event for this year's pay-per-view event of Ring of Honor Final Battle, where Chris Jericho, the Ocho, defends the Ring of Honor World Championship against Claudio Castagnoli, former WWE superstar Cesaro.
It was a hell of a match, and I actually saw how it ended. Angel, you're going to laugh your titties. As in, you are going to grow mammalian mammary glands on your chest, and they're going to laugh themselves off your body. I promise you that.
I'm down. I'll wait. I'll see what happens.
All right.
It's pretty hilarious.
And
but
folks, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. You had more announcements?
no, that's all the announcements I have.
That was two announcements. That was two. Yeah. I said we got two. That we're going to be at Hallmat. That we're not doing Los Amigos Play or the Braves Flock because we're going to be at Hallmat. That's one. And two is what we're doing Wrestle Rewind. Dude.
Also, if we're lucky, we might meet two of my favorite streamers and close friends on the internet.
Oh.
Brother Kyo and Mr. Fahusul will be hanging around the fighting game area on Saturday. So if I find them there, I'll make sure to say hi and grab some pictures for the team page.
Yes. Hell yes.
Hey.
I'm personally looking forward to seeing Kira Buckland, who is a voice actress, who's a voice actor. Let's see here. And I'm also looking forward to seeing if I can meet Aki Dearest, who's another YouTuber. She talks about Japanese culture and, popular culture in Japan because, well, she also lives in Japan. She's ridiculous, and I love it. Yeah, that's going to be fun. And, folks, I also want to say to the chat, everyone who came in on the chat and everyone who came in and rated from Nerd Report, thank you all so much for joining us tonight. And I know that everyone was having difficult issues. They were talking about Daisy and Cheryl and everyone. You guys were sharing your own stories where you had difficulties of people passing away. I'm feeling for you. I'm really sorry that I hadn't been keeping up with everyone in the chat. I'm sure we got a story we got to talk about, but I'm so thankful to every single one of you. Everyone, all three of us in the Ravens flock, we're thankful to every one of y'all for your support. I want to thank Louis, Lekka, the Legend of Los Angeles, the man who nuked all the fridges, the man who runs Nerd Report, my favorite. Holy shit. Yeah. It's incredible. Me, Jose, and Angel. Hi, K-Storm. Hi, I guess K-Storm makes four of us.
That makes four. That makes four. Four.
So what?
Okay,
four
Angel,
horsemen?
Angel, just so you know,
Yep.
I know you asked about guests at Holiday Matsuri. Tony Oliver is going to be there, the voice actor of Volpura.
Ah, shit, my boy.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Yep.
We're in trouble. Angel's got a fanboy now. I hope you're proud of
It's
yourself.
Bleach time, because baby, now you feel like number one.
Angel, Kira Buckland's also going to be there as well.
I said
Oh shit,
that.
to be sweet.
Yeah,
Yep,
Hi, Tam.
Tam, all of y'all, every single one of you guys. You know what? Yeah, if we can get more folks to become inner flockers, I'm gonna make Tam is giving a hi to K-Storm.
Hi, Tam.
Now, I want to make custom emojis for everyone from the Popcorn Planet family. Custom emoji of Steph, Andy, Lewis, maybe one of Jody if Jody's corner decides to show up, and one of definitely of Amy Goodhart. Holy crap! I already know exactly what I'm gonna do for Amy. But I would definitely need more inner flockers for us to do that, guys. Do us a favor. If you folks want to see more custom emojis of us representing the rest of the Popcorn Planet fam, hit us up, become inner flockers, hit the join button. It's only $4.99 a month, and that'll actually open up slots for me to be able to put down new custom emojis for everyone. So please make it happen, all right? I appreciate every single one, and no, you're okay. You don't have to apologize, Planet Q. This is a heated issue. I was heated because I was doing my best to try to not fucking just burn Aaron Carter. See what happened? I meant Nick Carter to the fucking ground.
I knew it.
God dang it. 20 years, 22 years with this fucking guy. More than 20 years because we were teenagers. We were kids. Fucking Aaron Carter, rest his soul. Okay, but I meant to say I wanted to do my best to not burn Nick Carter to the fucking ground, but he's setting his own kindling. That's the
I've
problem.
seen the woods. He's piling up all the logs in a nice pyramid pattern. I wonder what he's going to do with those matches and gasoline.
Yeah, and Nick Carter was kind enough to put kindling around it so it'll ignite easier, and he put all the logs with the dry side up so that they burn better. He's setting this up on his own with how many people that he's crossed over the years. And yeah, when more money, more problems. But at the same time, if he was this innocent, would he have made this many enemies, or would there be this many people coming out with these similar stories? Every one of them independent of each other. That's the problem. It's too much to ignore. That's why my opinion is I think motherfucker's got too many skeletons in his closet for this to be false. We have to go by what the court says. We have to go by the legal system. If it gets to a settlement, then it's a wash. No one comes out winner or a loser. If it goes to court, let it be done in the court. Let justice be served. I hope there's peace there. And that's that. I'm going to go ahead and wrap us up, guys, if that's okay with y'all.
Go ahead, fam.
Go right ahead, Juancho.
And that being said, I want to thank everyone again in the chat who showed up tonight. I want to thank everyone from Nerd Report. I want to thank Jose Casabona and Angel Mendez for joining me tonight. I want to thank all of you who watched us here tonight on this new episode of the uncensored, uncompromising interview and review podcast with Raven's Flock, The Black Files, hosted by Juan Arauz, bringing you the latest news in the dark sides of the entertainment and nerd culture community as we grant you access live every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, simulcasting on YouTube and Twitch. Hit the subscribe or the follow button, ring the notification bell to stay up to date. Become an inner flocker by hitting the join button for only $4.99 a month. And until next time, we invite you folks to continue to follow us on Facebook.com/TheRavensFlock, Twitter.com/RavensFlock13, Instagram.com/TheRavensFlockOnline, Twitch.tv/TheRavensFlockOnline, and of course, remember to hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell right here on our flagship platform, youtube.com/TheRavensFlock, humble home of the Black Files, Los Amigos Play, Wrestle Rewind, and the Ravens Flock. For K-Storm playing with a flashlight behind me, for Angel Mendez, for Jose Casabona, I am Juan Arauz. This has been the Black Files, and we